Well, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Mr. President, a lot have been said about security. And I did, in one of our debate here, I did mention that since we resume in this ninth assembly, about 60% of our time here has been preoccupied talking about security issues in these chambers. Let me sympathize with my colleague. I have similar issues. Mr. President, a few days ago, some students at the Federal University of Agriculture Makadi were kidnapped. And up to today, this morning, the VC sent me a text that they are untraceable. What these bandits or the orchestrators of this banditry act are trying to do is to eclipse the entire country with fears. We can no longer send our children to school because you're at home thinking that your child is in school, he's kidnapped. Those children who were kidnapped in Kaduna were told that so far 5 of them have been killed. Mr. President, this is dreadful. I'm a personal victim, and I like what Matthew said here. Until you are directly affected, you will not know how painful it is. Mr. President, Odia would have been saying a different thing if he was killed along the road. It can happen to any one of us here. And so this is a very, very serious situation that we found ourselves in, has been alluded to by my colleagues here. And we set up a security committee here that was headed by the leader of the Senate. A report was presented on the floor of this Senate. We deliberated on it. We arrived at resolutions that were far-reaching. Those resolutions were sent to the President for action. Mr. President, up to today, no serious action has been taken as far as those resolutions are concerned. And so, on our own part as legislators, on our own part as senators, we have done the needful. And there's a need for us to call a spade a spade. The executive have shown clear incompetence of handling this security situation. And that is what we should be talking about. We cannot be blaming ourselves here as senators. We represent the people. Like somebody said, these people know us and we know them. And they're holding us accountable. And we seem not to have the powers to enforce what we have passed on the floor of this Senate. Mr. President, what do we do in such circumstance? Francis said here, let us do the needful. Because we are doing, every day we come here, we debate. What I would say that we are paying lip service to the problems that confront us today. Let us seriously sit down, as suggested here by one of my colleagues, with Mr. President as a house, not as leaders of this Senate, to show the seriousness of what we have found ourselves in. Otherwise, one day, we'll just find, like Francis said, we'll just find some people who were overwhelmed out here, maybe take us hostage. As I was coming, I couldn't enter through the gate because the gate was blocked. When I was coming, I had to take the villa gate to come in here. So gradually people are getting very impatient, and it is us, they can't go to the villa, they will come here. So our lives as senators, as National Assembly members, is in danger. And so, Mr. President, the motion moved by our colleague here, he has moved, this is about the 4th time that he's moving such a motion, because killing in Niger has become a recurring decimal. Ditto for other parts of the country. And so let us, Mr. President, have an executive session, if not today, maybe some other day that you will select, and frankly discuss this thing outside the glimpse of the press, so that we can frankly talk and come up with solutions as to how this can be done. Talking, in the open, most people are unable to say their mind. Most people are able to say what should be done. Let us hold an executive session over this and frankly discuss among ourselves so that we can save Nigerians the trauma of everyday killings. When you listen to radio, it's killing. You listen to television, it's killing. You read newspaper, it's killing. So killing has become commonplace in our country, and now nobody attaches any value to human life any longer. Growing up as children, to kill one person was a big deal. Now you say 50 people have been killed, 46 people have been killed. It's no longer an issue. Children are kidnapped, are being killed like chicken by this bandit. And nobody seems to be taking that seriously. Mr. President, as suggested here, let us have a session among ourselves, talk to ourselves, and possibly meet with the leader of this country so that he will know. Maybe he doesn't appreciate the magnitude of the problem. We who relate with the people on a daily basis know the magnitude of the problem. And so let us meet with him. We'll sit down with him as a Senate and then discuss with him and possibly arrive at some solutions that we can address that will solve this problem. Even if we can't finish it, let us mitigate it as much as we can, Mr. President.
Senator